Hi, welcome to the Spiritual Connection Show. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. So I'm a transformation coach, I'm an energy healer, I'm a shamanic practitioner, and I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is based in Westport, Connecticut. You know, at the center, we're committed to having you reach your highest potential, whatever that looks like. So we offer a variety of trainings, workshops, healings, group sessions, as well as individual coaching and healing. And we've been having a shamanic clinic every month to introduce you to shamanism. Right now that's on hold due to the pandemic, but some other things we have moved online, such as our satsang, which is Sanskrit for the company of the truth. And that's just an evening, it's about an hour actually, it's very short, and we spend time with each other. We're doing that on Zoom, so look for that. I'm just gonna put up our contact info on the screen so you can see how to contact us. And let's see, there we go. So that's transformationcenterct.com, our website, email, and phone number. So you can just check the website for the schedule of what's going on for the future. We'd love to see you there. All right. So, for the Spiritual Connection show, you probably know I have a guest every week. And the guest is here to share their story, you know, whatever it is, their journey has been, what they're up to now, what they have to offer you. You can learn a lot from just hearing what they have to say. So I'm glad tonight my guest is Diane Nickelberg-Barnett. Thank you for joining us, Diane.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I'm just going to read a little bit about you for the audience, okay, so they can get to know you first. So Diane is the owner and founder of Grounded Meditation. And this is, it's in New Canaan, and it's dedicated to helping people learn about and reap the benefits of meditation and sound healing, one of my favorites, in a manner that is accessible and user-friendly. And I love that because I think it's perfect. So important. And as I said, it is based in New Canaan, Connecticut, and Grounded Meditation has now established an online presence, like a lot of us have. And so they're sharing the importance of meditation and sound healing with people all over the globe. I mean, that's the only thing that's positive about what's happening now, or one of the things that's positive. So I'm just going to put up Diane's info for you so you can see what that looks like. And you can contact her. That's their website, groundedmeditationstudio.com, their email address. And then you can follow them on Instagram or Facebook or contact them by phone. Any of those ways works. So great. So I'm going to turn it over to our guest, Diane. So welcome again, Diane.
Thank you.
Yeah. And actually, I want to start with a question that I always ask my guests, and that is just share with us a little bit about your spiritual journey thus far, like how it evolved, how you got to where you are, anything you want to share, really.
Sure. Okay. Well, I am and have been a real estate attorney in New York, in addition to what I'm doing now. I am trying to transition more out of that and more into this, but it's a pretty stressful job. So about 10 years ago, I needed to do something to counteract the stress, and I started taking yoga classes, which I really loved, and became a yoga instructor also about 10 years ago, and have been teaching yoga and meditation since then. And as far as meditation goes, it's often taught as part of a yoga class sometimes, but not always, usually a little bit in the beginning, a little bit in the end. But I always felt that we needed more of that. So I started Grounded Meditation. It's relatively new. We opened only about a year ago. And I'm just trying to bring meditation to the people and trying to really dispel some of the myths about meditation. As you had mentioned, we're user-friendly, we're accessible. I know a lot of people still think that meditation is a little bit esoteric or a little bit scary or confusing. So I'm trying to dispel that, because meditation has been scientifically proven to be beneficial to us in so many ways. And especially now, we could use something like meditation. As far as the sound goes, I've always been interested in that, and was not really anticipating that that would be such a big part of our business, but I started accumulating more bowls, crystal bowls and Tibetan bowls and different healing instruments. And we started doing sound baths, which are very popular. And we are now going to also be offering individual sound healing sessions once we get back to where we can be in the same room as somebody. So that's new, and that's really exciting, because sound is just, has so many possibilities, and it's something that we really enjoy doing and sharing.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I agree. I love to have a sound bath, and I haven't done it that much, but the few times I have, I just really, I didn't want it to end.
Oh no, it's great. We're doing them twice a week now. We're offering them as long as the quarantine is in effect. I don't know how long it's going to be, but at least for the rest of the month of June. We do one on Monday on Facebook Live at 7 o'clock, and on Instagram on Wednesday, which is tonight at 7:30. And those are free, and anybody can watch them. They're about 30 minutes or so, and not exactly the same as being in the same room, but people are really, really enjoying them. We're getting a lot of good feedback about them.
Yeah, that's excellent that you're offering that, complimentary. So people, it's like an introduction, I guess, so they can get a feel for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's the same thing we would do if we were in the same room with them, but it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah, we all have to just tweak things just a little bit now if they're online. Well, that's great. People can just go on your website, and do they need to register for those online?
No. Yeah, if anyone follows us on Facebook or Instagram, then they'll be prompted when we go live.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so they're live on those too.
Yeah.
That's very accessible, very easy.
That part of it is, yeah. And we usually include a little bit of meditation with that. It's just some breathing and some settling before we get started, but the sound is really just such great meditation in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mentioned that you got into meditation to help you alleviate some stress that was in your life, or still is in your life. And would you say that's like one of the primary benefits for meditation, or what else is there too?
Well, stress relief, anxiety relief, helps people focus better. It helps better clarity. I mean, it helps settle people down, stay in the moment. There have been studies that it has helped students do better on exams in school. And there are physical benefits as well: lower blood pressure, lower heart rate. I've read things that say that it can help against Alzheimer's. And I mean, anything that reduces stress can be beneficial for the entire physical and mental being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anything that kind of gets us out of our day-to-day mind, like away from that little voice that's always talking to us about what we should be doing or what we're not doing. Or
absolutely, those are kind of like dirty words in my world: should have, would have, could have, because those imply that we're not staying present. And if we dwell on those things too much, then we can just really get ourselves crazy. So rather than thinking I should be doing this, I would have done that, and what could have been, if we try to stay right here in the present instead of the should, woulds, and coulds, I mean, that right in the present, that's where your stress relief is. That's where your clear mind is. That's where your moment of calm is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. And that's where our creativity comes. That's where, all of those positive, like, it's not about thoughts. It's not about what we're thinking. It's about just being.
Yeah. Yes. And not worrying, which of course easier said than done. But even if we can get tiny moments of that, in short periods of time, even that can be beneficial because eventually it grows and eventually it gets easier. And if we can encompass that into our daily life more often than not, then we're good.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Being present is so important because, you know, when we're focused on the past, it's more about, yeah, like that's where the worrying comes in, either the past or the future. You know, it's almost like I've worked with people like, here's the past, and they're almost immediately in the future. So it's like they're bringing the past into the future.
Right, yeah. And
What happened to the present, right?
exactly. And then dwelling on the past causes depression. Dwelling on the future, the what ifs, the maybes, all that, that causes anxiety. So staying right here, it's kind of in between depression and anxiety. That's a much better place to be.
Yeah, right, right. You're creating from that space, which is like it also to me, what meditation does, it just opens you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it does. I mean, because it creates space inside your head where most of us suffer from, the Buddhist term is monkey mind, where if you imagine a group or gaggle of monkeys in a tree swinging from branch to branch to branch to branch, that's what's going on inside our heads almost all the time. Or if you think about a snow globe, which is an analogy that I use often in my classes, you know, how you shake it up and the stuff is all over the place. And then when you settle it down, starts to get a little bit less and a little bit less and a little bit less, and eventually it's just all clear. And that's where we want to go with our meditation, from the shaking up to the settling down.
I love that image.
Yeah.
What a great analogy, because anyone can relate to that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And what do you say to people? You know, we were talking about how you're making it user friendly and easy. So what do you say to people when they say, I can't meditate, it's too hard? What is that?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. And I understand it because there are a lot of people who have tried to meditate one way or another. And I think there's a lot of clear your mind, you know, instructions and things like that. And, you know, how the heck do you clear your mind? There's too much stuff going on in there. So we've taught meditation to special needs first graders. We work with Star Inc. here they're based in Norwalk, with adults with developmental disabilities, and we teach them meditation. And it's just, it's not like one size fits all with meditation. Different things can work for different people. So if somebody says, I can't sit still, I really can't sit still, maybe we'll teach them walking meditation. It is a thing. Or maybe we'll give them some kind of image to focus on, or a word or a mantra, not just sitting there and saying, okay, clear your mind. Or, you know, and eventually maybe bringing the focus down just to the breath or to a sound or something like that. But there are ways to get people to meditate, maybe not in the traditional sense, but at least focus on the present and focus on something, whether it's a sound or a thought or a word. Walking meditation is great. And now that the weather's better and now that people are allowed outside, it's something that pretty much anybody can do. I teach dancing mindfulness, which is kind of a combination of meditation and dancing. And that's really great. It's movement, meditation, staying in the present, dancing. There's a lot of things that we can do for a lot of people in the population.
Yeah, well, yes, that's great, because like you said, one size doesn't fit all, and what works for you isn't going to work for me. Yeah. So how does it work with the younger kids? You said you've been working with first graders?
Yeah, we just a few sessions with some special needs first graders.
Okay.
And it's not obviously the same meditation that you and I would do, but we get them to breathe deeply. And a lot of it comes with breathing deeply. So, you know, because that settles you down right away. It's like that old, what many of us think is an old wives' tale, when you get angry or upset and someone says to you, okay, take a deep breath. There's validity to that. Automatically, it just slows your heart rate, it slows your blood pressure, it quiets your mind. So with the kids, one of the things that we do with them is we give them breathing buddies, which are really just like little animals, and either stuffed animals or little like rubber animals. They lay down, they put them on their stomachs. We say, okay, watch them, give your breathing buddy a ride. And it encourages them to breathe deeply. They see it move, they see it go up and down. We'll do things like we make kind of fake candles, like we'll attach streamers to a candle and we'll say, okay, blow out the candles like you're blowing out a birthday candle, and they'll hold it and they'll take a deep breath. And they learn how to do deep breathing like that. And then sometimes with them, just being told to just listen, like with a sound, just listen, 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 or just to ask them to be quiet, which of course doesn't always work, but sometimes if you get them in the right frame of mind, they'll settle down. Depending on abilities, we can count. So counting the breath, like count 1, 2, or count to 10, or something like that. And there are a lot of ways to get children, I don't want to say trick them into it, but to kind of, get them to focus on the present and focus on their breathing.
Yeah, no, that all sounds good. I mean, what a gift for them to have that, because, I think personally it should be like mandatory in school for all ages.
Yeah, it should be. Yes.
Some teachers who use it just, on their own, it's not obviously.
Yeah. And I think I think they do teach it in some places, and I think that it is coming into schools. But again, it's still relatively new. But I think within the next few years, it's going to be much more common and much more present in schools.
Yeah, I hope so. Maybe when we go back to what would be the new, I don't want to even say new normal, but a new way of being.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that there's a lot of things that we all have learned from this pause, is what I've been calling it,
Yeah. Whatever.
In a way, it's allowed us to spend time with ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Meditation or just journaling or anything. Just
right.
For a lot of people, I know.
Yeah, it's true. But not everybody's comfortable spending time with themselves. So I think the meditation can really help people with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this situation, we're kind of stuck with constant worrying. So anything that can tone us down from that is really helpful.
Right. Get us out of our mind, like we were saying.
Yeah.
What about, Diane, do y'all use any of the guided visualization or guided meditation in what you do?
Yeah, I do that. It's usually tailored. Well, when we were having our regular weekly classes before the pause, we were offering mantra meditation as separate classes, mantra meditation, visualization. We were offering a walking meditation and mindfulness meditation. So yeah, a visualization meditation. And that's also something that we would do as part of a yoga nidra, which is a very deep guided meditation. But yeah, visualization is really effective in some people. I mean, it's usually completely guided, so it depends what people are looking for, but it can be a scene, or it can be like a white light throughout the body. There are a lot of different ways to do the guided meditation. I think mantra meditation is also really effective for some people, and I've been doing that a lot during this pause also, using the mantra, I am safe, I am strong. Because it also serves as an affirmation, in addition to something to focus the mind on, something to think of that's positive and hopeful.
Right. Yeah. So you can, with affirmations, you create that. I mean, that's my understanding. You assimilate it into, to part of who you are, if you can repeat it and really take it in like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, we also offer loving kindness meditation. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but it's also kind of an affirmation meditation where you're sending out positive thoughts to various groups of people you like, people you don't like, people you don't know. And that's also really effective. That's kind of something we all need right now.
Yes. Yeah, it sounds similar to some of the healing work that we do, where we just send our light out yes, it could be to individuals or groups or actually to anyone who needs it. Sometimes I do that, or just, send the light out. Yeah. Yeah. I found with the guided imagery or the guided visualization, sometimes that helps people who think they can't meditate.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a start.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, it helps them realize that this is, it's not hard to sit still, really. You just have to practice.
Right, yeah. It gives an anchor for them to
That's
continue
it.
to think of something that's not something outside. Or
Yeah.
something to use, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way of describing it. So let's talk a little bit more about the sound healing that you do.
Mhm.
So I've seen you do it a little bit online when you came to the TLC Holistic Happy Hour a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It seems like you have a beautiful array of, we'll talk about it. Tell us about it.
Okay. Yeah, I've been collecting bowls. It becomes kind of like buying shoes, but bowls. So yeah, I have a full chakra set of crystal bowls, which the chakras are energy centers. So I've got bowls that correspond to each of the different chakras. And then we've got Tibetan bowls as well. And I've got a gong, got triangle, drum. And just the beauty of it is that playing them just releases sound waves that are put us into a more restful, quiet, calming state. And it's also, we also use sound as a type of meditation sometimes, as we were talking about. For example, if you take a bowl, this is one of our Tibetan bowls, and just strike it. If I tell you just focus on the sound until you don't hear it anymore, it's a direction for your mind to go. And I don't know if you don't hear it. I still hear it, but it may not translate.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming through too well on Zoom, but I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, one of the instructions would be just listen until you don't hear it anymore. And I'm still hearing it, but right.
Okay.
But this is one of the ways that it doesn't translate the same online. But yeah, that's a type of meditation that we would do. For individual sound healing, we use bowls on and off the body. And as I said, they're bowls that correspond to each of the different energy points in the body, each of the different chakras. So, excuse me. So if someone is having a lower back issue, we would use the sacral chakra bowl. If someone's having a knee issue, we use the root chakra bowl. Anything like coughing, throat, neck issues, there's throat chakra, which is the G. We've got the heart chakra. And then, I mean, it just goes on and on. So we determine what a person is looking for, what their issues may be, and then just choose the appropriate bowls. And sometimes it's just the sounds, you know, if someone's anxious, sometimes it's just the sounds of hearing the bowls, not necessarily in any, you know, specifically prescribed manner, but sometimes it's just the sound of hearing the waves of the bowls that just settles people down. It's really remarkable.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Can you just do one more time on the Tibetan bowl? One more little.
Okay, I'm gonna put it close to the speaker, and we'll see how long you hear this.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't really come through. I don't know. It's something about the wavelength, maybe. It's not picking it up. But I know in person it does last a very long time. And
yeah, this is a heart chakra bowl, so you may feel this in the heart, but this one may resonate a little bit more. And I can make this one sing, so you'll hear it a little more. You can hear that, right?
Yes. Yeah, it feels really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love them. I've become very attached and involved with them. And when I get anxious, it really helps for me just to play them. and listen to them. Yeah. So and I see how it affects other people. So it's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Well, I'll definitely have to take advantage of your online sessions soon. I can't do it tonight, but it seems like every night there's something going on Zoom, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Time's getting away from us. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Even with this pause, yeah.
I know. It seems like there's more opportunities, and I'm taking the time to learn new things and do some stuff that I hadn't had time for in the past. So.
Yeah, I mean, this may be there may be a silver lining in all of this. I mean, horrible things have happened, but just maybe we needed this. The collective, at least the pause, not the bad part of it, but
right.
The pause. I think a lot of people are taking stock and making changes and making career changes. And it's just really interesting what this has done to us as a society.
Yeah. There's some things we really need a wake-up call for, as we're learning now with everything else going on, which we don't have time to get into tonight with all the terrible inequality that's happening.
It's horrible, and I think we especially need meditation now and can benefit from meditation now, because if you just listen, excuse me, I have a dog barking. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, they do that. If you just listen to the news, you're hearing this and that and the other thing, and the problems and the issues and the violence and the pandemic, and you can just, even the most calm person is stretched from what's going on. So we need to settle. We need to meditate.
No, that's a good point, and meditation is a really good tool. The sound healing, just taking time to take care of ourselves, and just remind ourselves that we have a choice in how we respond. And that usually helps a lot.
Exactly, because we cannot control what's going on out there. Unfortunately, we can only control what's going on inside ourselves. So we have to make that a peaceful place if we can't make the rest of the world a peaceful place.
Right, and hopefully by our example and taking a stand for peace and equality, that we can make a difference.
Right. We have to do that. Yeah.
That way too. All right. Well, this has been great, Diane. We're going to have to wrap up now. It goes by fast, I know, but
okay.
So I do want to just share your info on the screen one more time before we and so if anybody wants to contact you, this is your website, your email, and then definitely check out the Instagram and the Facebook so you can find out about the sound healing that Diane's up to right now. That's twice a week on Mondays and Wednesday evenings. Is that correct?
Monday, 7 o'clock Facebook live stream, and Wednesday, 7:30 on Instagram Live. Yeah, and they're free, and everybody can come and join us.
Oh, wonderful. All right, and then I'm just going to put up my website one more time so we can see if anybody wants to make a note of that, transformationcenterct.com. So call us, email us, come over, well, not right now, we can't come over, but soon we'll be back together in person. But I just want to thank you, Diane, so much for being part of this show and sharing all your great work that you do. It's really been a pleasure to get to know you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
All right, well, we'll see you the next time. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us in the audience. Okay, good night.
Bye.